My fiancé laughed at the prenup and said, "You either marry me as is or not at all." I calmly replied, "Okay." Then I called the vendor and canceled everything. She found out when she showed up for the final dress fitting and no one was there. Hey Reddit, long-time lurker, first-time poster. This story happened over the past 2 years, and I'm finally ready to share it. Buckle up because this is absolutely wild, and I'm still processing how everything went down. Some background about me. I, 35 male, and I own a commercial construction company that I started from absolutely nothing 9 years ago. Company's worth around 3.8 million now. Plus I've got a house in the hills and some solid investments. Nothing too crazy, but I worked my tail off to get here. Quick backstory, grew up dirt poor. Dad left when I was 8. Mom worked 3 jobs just to keep the lights on. Joined the military at 18, did 2 tours overseas, came back and used my GI Bill to study business and construction management. Started my company with $5,000 in savings and a dream. Now I've got 23 employees and we handle major commercial projects across the state. Enter the villain. My ex-fiancée Ashley, 29 female, and I were together for 18 months, engaged for 6. Met her at a charity gala where she was supposedly supporting veterans. Red flag number 1 that I completely ignored. She's one of those Instagram influencer types, lifestyle blogger, with 50,000 followers who posts pictures of herself in yoga pants and calls it fitness motivation. She moved into my place after 4 months because her luxury apartment lease was up. Turns out luxury meant her rich daddy was paying for it, and he cut her off when she dropped out of law school to pursue content creation. Red flag number 2 that I stupidly overlooked. My best friend's warning, here's where my buddy Carlos comes in. Carlos has been my best friend since we were 12, served with me overseas, and now he's my project manager at the company. Guy has zero filter and calls things exactly like he sees them. From day 1, he was saying Ashley was bad news. Dude, she asked me how much you make within 10 minutes of meeting me. He told me after that charity gala. Not what you do, how much you make. That's gold digger behavior 101. But honestly, I was thinking with the wrong head. Ashley's really attractive, 5 feet 8 inches, blonde, personal trainer body. The kind of woman who turns heads when she walks into a room. I thought I'd hit the jackpot and convinced myself Carlos was just being overprotective. So this all started about 8 months ago. My lawyer called me on a Tuesday while I was reviewing some client contracts for a new shopping center project. Sam, the prenup is ready. Standard protection clauses for your business assets and personal property. Standard stuff, really. My company stays mine. House I bought before her stays mine. Her assets stay hers. If we divorce, she gets reasonable alimony based on marriage length, but no claim to what I built before meeting her. Pretty fair considering she brought exactly $0 to the relationship. That evening I decided to bring it up. Made her favorite dinner, lobster because of course. Opened a nice bottle of sparkling cider, set the mood romantic. Hey babe, my lawyer finished the prenup. We can review it this weekend and sign it next week. Ashley looked up from her phone where she was editing some selfie. Prenup? I thought we talked about this. I'm not signing one. We'd mentioned it once when we got engaged, but I definitely never said we wouldn't do one. Ash, my business and assets need protection. It's just smart financial planning. Her whole attitude shifted. Not surprised, not hurt. Straight up angry. Sam, I'm not signing anything that treats me like a gold digger. It doesn't treat you like anything. It protects what we each bring to the marriage. I'm not bringing money, but I'm bringing me. That's worth more than your stupid company. Carlos's voice echoed in my head. She's gonna show you who she really is eventually, brother. Ashley, this isn't negotiable. I won't get married without proper asset protection. She slammed her glass down so hard I thought it would break. Asset protection? From me? Your future wife? From anyone. It's not personal, it's business. Everything about marriage is personal, Sam. She stood up and did that thing where she puts her hands on her hips and puffs out her chest. Here's the deal. You marry me as I am, or you don't marry me at all. No prenup, no lawyers, no treating me like some random woman who's trying to steal from you. The ultimatum hung there like a bad smell. 2 years of red flags I'd ignored suddenly became crystal clear. Okay, I said calmly. She smiled like she'd just won the lottery. Good. I knew you'd see reason. No, Ashley. Okay, as in, I don't marry you at all. Her face went from victory to confusion to pure rage in about 3 seconds. What? You gave me 2 choices. I pick option 2, not getting married. Sam, don't be ridiculous. You're not calling off our wedding over a piece of paper. I'm not calling it off over a piece of paper. I'm calling it off because you just showed me that you think marriage means automatic access to everything I worked blood, sweat, and tears to build. That's exactly what it means. We're supposed to be partners. Partners contribute equally, Ashley. What exactly are you contributing besides your Instagram account? Her eyes went wide like I just slapped her. I can't believe you just said that to me. I can't believe it took me this long to say it. She stormed upstairs and slammed the bedroom door. I immediately texted Carlos. You were right about Ashley. Wedding's off. His response came back in 30 seconds. Finally. Want me to come over and help you cancel everything? Best friend ever. Carlos showed up 20 minutes later with takeout Chinese food and his laptop. All right, brother, let's handle this properly. First call was to my lawyer. Hey, it's Sam. Cancel the prenup. Cancel everything. The engagement is off. Sam, are you certain? Sometimes people need time to process these things. She laughed at the idea of a prenup and gave me an ultimatum. I'm choosing my business over her nonsense. Understood. File is closed. Next was the wedding planner. Hi, this is Sam Morgan. I need to cancel the wedding. Oh no. Sam, what happened? The wedding is in 8 weeks. Change of plans. Cancel all vendors and send me the damage report. Sam, this will be very expensive. You'll lose most deposits and face cancellation penalties. Probably around $35,000 total. I felt Carlos pat my shoulder. Better than losing half your company in divorce court, bro. I understand. Cancel everything. What about Ashley? Shouldn't she be involved? Ashley made her choice. I'm making mine. Carlos had his laptop open and was already pulling up vendor contact information. This is the smartest thing you've done in 2 years, man. We spent the next 3 hours systematically calling every single vendor. Carlos kept detailed notes and made encouraging comments throughout the process. Venue, $18,000 gone. Catering, $12,000 gone. Photography, $3,500 gone. Band, $1,500 gone. Each call was basically the same conversation. Hi, I need to cancel my wedding services. Oh my goodness, what happened? Fiancée turned out to have different values than I thought. Awkward silence. Well, here are your cancellation fees. Carlos was providing moral support the whole time. 18 grand for the venue? That's like 6 months of Ashley's shopping budget. The photographer was the most understanding. Mr. Morgan, are you sure about this? We've shot some beautiful engagement photos. Yeah, I'm sure. Can I get digital copies though? Might need them for something later. Carlos raised an eyebrow. Something like what? I don't know yet, but with Ashley, there's definitely going to be something. By midnight, we'd canceled everything. $35,000 down the drain, but honestly, I felt lighter than I had in months. Like a massive weight was off my shoulders. You realize she's probably upstairs planning her counterattack, right? Carlos said as he was packing up to leave. Let her plan. I'm done playing games. Ashley never came downstairs that night. I could hear her on the phone though, probably calling her sister Emma or her mom. Lots of crying and complaining about me being impossible and heartless. The next morning was going to be very interesting. Wednesday morning, Ashley came downstairs in her pink silk pajamas, like absolutely nothing had happened. Morning, baby. I made your favorite protein smoothie. I was at the kitchen table with my laptop, going through cancellation confirmations and vendor emails. Ashley, we need to talk. If this is about last night, I forgive you. That prenup thing was mean, but I understand you were just scared about the wedding. The audacity was absolutely unbelievable. There's nothing to forgive Ashley. The wedding is canceled. She froze with the smoothie blender in her hand. What do you mean canceled? I mean, I spent last night calling every vendor and canceling everything. Venue, catering, flowers, music, photography, all of it. The blender hit the counter hard enough to crack the granite. You cannot cancel my wedding without talking to me. I can cancel my wedding, which is what I did. I didn't mean actually cancel it. I meant drop the stupid prenup. That's not what you said, Ashley. You said marry you as you are or not at all. I chose not at all. Her face turned bright red, and she started using that screechy voice she gets when she's really angry. This is absolutely insane. You're throwing away our whole relationship because you don't trust me. I'm protecting myself from someone who thinks being pretty entitles her to half of everything I built. I'm going to be your wife. That means sharing everything. No, Ashley. Being my wife means building a life together. It doesn't mean you get to claim ownership of what I spent 9 years building before you existed in my life. She started crying those obviously fake tears she uses to manipulate people. Where am I supposed to go? This is my home. This is my house, Ashley. Your name isn't on the deed, the mortgage, or anything else. You can stay until Friday to figure something out. You can't just throw me out like garbage. I'm not throwing you out. I'm ending our engagement. Big difference. She ran upstairs crying, and I heard her making phone calls immediately, probably to her sister Emma, who already hates me because I wouldn't invest in her pyramid scheme makeup business. The rest of the week was absolutely miserable. Ashley went full dramatic mode. She'd slam doors, accidentally break my stuff, and make passive-aggressive comments constantly. Hope your precious money keeps you warm at night. Can't believe I wasted 2 years on such a selfish person. You'll never find anyone who loves you like I do. That last one actually made me laugh out loud. Love? She loved my bank account, not me, my bank. Carlos came by Thursday to check on me. Ashley was at the gym. Where else? So we could talk freely. How you holding up, brother? Better than expected. It's like I can finally breathe again, you know? She posted about the breakup on Instagram yet? Don't know, I unfollowed her. Carlos pulled out his phone. Oh, dude, you have to see this. She posted some cryptic stuff about toxic men who prioritize money over love, with a crying selfie. The comments are hilarious. I didn't really want to see it, but curiosity got the better of me. Sure enough, there was Ashley in full victim mode, talking about how some people change when they get successful, and forget about the people who loved them before they had money. The comments were pretty brutal. Girl, get that bag in court. Men aren't worth anything when they get a little money. He doesn't deserve you, queen. But there were some smart ones too. Maybe he just wanted to protect what he worked for? Prenups are normal for successful people. If you really loved him, why wouldn't you sign it? Carlos was right. It was actually hilarious watching her try to control the narrative and paint herself as the victim. Friday morning, Ashley left early saying she was going dress shopping with Emma. I didn't tell her there was no dress to shop for anymore. Figured she'd find out soon enough. That afternoon, my phone started going absolutely crazy. Friday around 3 p.m., my phone started ringing nonstop. First call was from Emma, Ashley's sister. Sam, what is wrong with you? Hello, Emma. Lovely to hear from you too. Ashley just showed up to her dress fitting and the shop is closed. They said her appointment was canceled. The wedding is canceled, Emma. I told Ashley that Wednesday morning. You can't just cancel someone's wedding. I can cancel my wedding, which I did. Do you have any idea how embarrassing this was? She was standing outside that dress shop crying while people stared at her. Here's the thing. Ashley knew the wedding was canceled. She lived through that entire conversation. If she wanted to play victim and ignore reality, that's completely on her. Ashley knew the wedding was canceled. If she chose to ignore reality, that's her problem. She thought you were bluffing. I don't bluff, Emma. Ask anyone who knows me. You're ruining her life. She's been planning this wedding for months. She ruined it herself when she refused the prenup and gave me an ultimatum. You're willing to throw away 2 years for a piece of paper? I'm willing to protect 9 years of work from someone who thinks marriage means claiming what she didn't earn. Emma hung up on me. Really mature response. About an hour later, Ashley came home absolutely hysterical, like mascara running down her face, hyperventilating, crying. The dress shop was closed. There was no appointment. I looked like a complete idiot in front of everyone. I told you the wedding was canceled, Ashley. I thought you were just being dramatic. I thought you'd calm down and we could work it out. I don't do drama, Ashley. When I say something, I mean it. She collapsed on the couch like her entire life was over. Everyone was staring at me. The other brides, the sales girls, they all knew. Part of me felt bad for about 2 seconds. Then I remembered her laughing at the prenup like it was the stupidest thing she'd ever heard. Maybe next time don't give ultimatums to people who built million-dollar companies from nothing. She looked at me with pure hatred. I hate you so much. Good. That'll make this easier for both of us. But here's where things get really interesting and take a dark turn. That evening, I got a call from my bank's fraud department. Mr. Morgan, this is someone from Pacific Security Bank. We need to discuss some suspicious activity on your accounts. My blood immediately went cold. What kind of activity? Someone attempted to add an authorized user to your business account 4 days ago. The request was submitted online using your login credentials, but our security system flagged it due to an unusual IP address. 4 days ago. That was Tuesday night, right after our prenup fight. Who was the authorized user? Ashley Chen. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. How long did she have access? Approximately 8 hours before our fraud detection system locked everything down. During that time, she accessed account balances, downloaded transaction histories, and attempted to transfer $22,000 to an external account. $22,000. While I was sleeping upstairs, Ashley was downstairs trying to rob me blind. The transfer was blocked by our large transaction security protocols, but we need you to come in immediately to secure your accounts and discuss next steps. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I immediately called Carlos. Dude, Ashley tried to steal $22,000 from my business account. What? When did this happen? Tuesday night while I was asleep. The bank's fraud detection caught it. Holy crap, Sam. That's felony wire fraud. I know. I'm going to the bank now, then probably the police station. Want me to meet you there? Yeah. And Carlos? Don't tell anyone about this yet. I want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes first. The bank meeting was absolutely eye-opening. The fraud specialist showed me Ashley's activity logs, and it was crystal clear this wasn't some impulsive decision. She'd systematically gone through my accounts, looking for the biggest balances, then tried to transfer money to an account she'd opened that very morning specifically to receive the stolen funds. Mr. Morgan, this is textbook wire fraud. You need to file a police report immediately. But here's where I made a decision that would change everything. Instead of going straight to the cops, I decided to watch Ashley squirm for a while. See what other lies she'd tell? See how deep her manipulation really went. Give me all the security logs and documentation. I'll handle this my way. Carlos looked at me like I was crazy. Sam, what are you thinking? I'm thinking Ashley just handed me all the ammunition I need to completely destroy her. Why rush it? I had absolutely no idea how right I was about that. Instead of calling the police immediately, I decided to play things strategically. Ashley had tried to steal from me, but she had no idea I knew about it yet. That gave me a serious advantage. Saturday morning, Ashley was packing her stuff, still playing the victim card. I can't believe you're making me leave over a stupid piece of paper. It wasn't about the paper, Ashley. It was about what you really wanted from this relationship. I wanted to marry you. You wanted to marry my bank account. There's a big difference. She threw a designer handbag into her suitcase. Whatever, Sam. You'll regret this when you're old and alone with nothing but your precious money. I almost started laughing. Here she was, acting all high and mighty, not knowing I had evidence she'd tried to rob me 3 days earlier. Maybe, but at least I'll still have my money. After she left, Carlos came over with pizza and we started planning. So what's the strategy here, brother? First, I want to see what other damage she might try to do. I'm changing all my passwords and monitoring everything closely. Then I want to document everything. The ultimatum, the cancellation, her social media posts, all of it. You thinking lawsuit? I'm thinking bigger than that. Ashley's about to learn what happens when you mess with someone who built a construction company from nothing. See, here's what Ashley didn't know about me. I don't just run a construction business. I'm really good at the investigative side too. Before I got into the business management side, I was the guy who had to track down contractor fraud and deal with all kinds of shady characters. Old habits die hard. Over the next few days, I used some completely legal research methods to keep tabs on Ashley's digital footprint. What I found was absolutely gold. Ashley had been planning this whole thing for months. Her browser history showed she'd been researching divorce settlements for business owners and how to claim assets in marriage, going back 6 months. She'd even looked up, how long do you have to be married to get alimony? But the best part? She'd been talking to some lawyer about community property laws and how to maximize a divorce settlement. All while we were engaged and she was acting like she loved me. Carlos was reading over my shoulder as I showed him the evidence. Dude, she's been running a long con on you this entire time. It gets even better. Look at this. I showed him her text messages with her sister Emma that I'd found on her old iPad she'd left behind. Pure gold digger material. Finally hooked a rich one. Just gotta make it down the aisle. He's so clueless he actually thinks I love him, lol. The prenup thing is a problem, but I'll figure something out. Worst case, I can claim emotional abuse or something and get a settlement. That last one made my blood absolutely boil. She was already planning to lie about abuse to steal from me. Sam, this is genuinely psychotic behavior. She's not just a gold digger. She's legitimately manipulative and dangerous, which is exactly why we're going to be very careful about how we handle this. I want her completely destroyed, but I want it to be legal and permanent. Wednesday. Ashley started blowing up my phone with messages. Apparently, reality was starting to set in. Sam, can we please talk? I miss you so much. Sam, I made a terrible mistake. I'll sign the prenup. Can we work this out? Sam, please don't do this to us. I love you. I didn't respond to any of them. Let her sweat it out. Thursday, she actually showed up at my office building. My receptionist called me. Sam, Ashley's here. She's crying and asking to see you. Tell her I'm in meetings all day. She says she'll wait in the lobby. Tell her I'm in meetings all week. My receptionist came back 5 minutes later. She's not leaving. She's sitting in the lobby crying and making a scene. This was getting pathetic and embarrassing for my business. I walked out to the lobby where Ashley was doing her whole victim performance for my employees and clients. Ashley, what are you doing here? Sam, please, can we just talk? I made a terrible mistake. We don't have anything to talk about. I'll sign the prenup. I'll sign whatever you want. Every employee and client in the office was watching this drama unfold. Ashley, you had your chance. You chose to make demands instead of having a mature conversation. I was scared. I was worried about my future. Your future? What about the future you tried to steal from me? Her face went completely white. What are you talking about? I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. She looked around at all my employees and clients watching and lowered her voice to a whisper. Sam, please, not here? Then leave, and don't come back to my workplace. Security escorted her out after that, but I could see the panic in her eyes. She knew I knew something. The next few weeks were when things got really interesting. 2 weeks after Ashley moved out, her perfect little influencer life started completely crumbling, and I had front row seats to watch it all fall apart piece by piece. First, her Instagram followers started dropping like flies. Turns out most of them were only following her because she was engaged to a successful entrepreneur. Her words from her bio, not mine. Once word got out through mutual friends that we broke up, her engagement dropped dramatically. Carlos was keeping me updated since he still followed her account. Dude, she went from 50,000 followers to 28,000 in 3 weeks. And her sponsored posts are getting like 150 likes instead of 5,000. Good. Let her see what her personal brand is actually worth without my money and status behind it. But the real entertainment started when her bills came due. See, Ashley had been living way beyond her actual means the entire time we were together. Designer clothes, expensive beauty treatments, luxury everything. All funded by daddy's credit cards that he'd cut off months ago when she dropped out of law school. She'd been floating herself with multiple credit cards, assuming she'd be married to me soon, and it wouldn't matter. Really big mistake. Emma called me on a Tuesday, which was hilarious because she'd blocked my number after our last conversation. She must have used someone else's phone. Sam, I know things ended badly, but Ashley's in real trouble. Hello, Emma, not my problem anymore. She's going to lose her apartment. The credit card companies are calling constantly. She can't afford anything without your help. Sounds like she should have thought about that before giving me ultimatums and trying to manipulate me. Sam, please, she's family. I'll pay you back whatever you spend to help her. With what money? Your pyramid scheme makeup business that you wanted me to invest in? I hung up. But here's where it gets really good. Ashley started getting truly desperate. And desperate people make incredibly stupid decisions. She called me Friday night, completely emotional and barely coherent. Sam, I messed up so badly. Ashley, you sound upset. I know, but I need to tell you something. I did something really bad and I'm scared. This was it. She was about to confess to the attempted theft. I started recording the call on my phone. What did you do, Ashley? I tried to take money from your account after our fight. I was so angry and scared and I thought if I could just get some money to start over somewhere. How much money did you try to take? Like 22,000? But it didn't work. The bank stopped it. I swear I was going to pay it back eventually. Beautiful. Full confession recorded. Ashley, that's felony wire fraud. I know, I'm so stupid. Sam, please don't tell anyone. Please, I'll do anything. Anything? Yes! Anything! I love you, I'll sign any prenup you want. I'll move back in. I'll do whatever you say. The desperation in her voice was almost sad. Almost. Ashley, we're done forever. Stay away from me, stay away from my business, and get some professional help. Sam, please don't hang up. Please. I hung up and immediately saved the recording to multiple devices. Monday morning, I called the detective and filed the official police report. By Wednesday, Ashley was arrested at her new terrible apartment for wire fraud, computer intrusion, and attempted theft. The local news picked up the story because she was a social media influencer, and the story was too juicy to ignore. Local Instagram star arrested for attempted wire fraud against ex-fiancée. Carlos sent me the news article with laughing emojis. Ashley's mugshot was absolutely brutal. No makeup, hair a complete mess, looking totally destroyed. But the best part? Her remaining followers found out about the arrest and started absolutely roasting her in the comments. Guess that influencer lifestyle didn't work out. From lifestyle blogger to criminal real quick. This is what happens when you bite the hand that feeds you. Her follower count dropped to 6,000 overnight. Her brand was completely and utterly destroyed. The legal process moved surprisingly fast. Ashley's public defender tried to negotiate a plea deal, but the evidence was absolutely overwhelming. Bank security logs, recorded confession, clear premeditation. She pled guilty to avoid trial and got 18 months probation, $5,000 in restitution to the bank, and a felony conviction that would follow her forever. But here's the thing, I wasn't done with her yet. Not even close. 8 months after Ashley's conviction, I was genuinely living my best life. Business was absolutely booming. We just landed the biggest contract in company history. I'd started dating an amazing woman named Sarah, who owns her own accounting firm and has her own money. And I'd almost completely forgotten Ashley existed. Then Emma called me. Again, using a different number this time. Sam, I know you probably hate us, but Ashley really needs help. Let me guess. She can't get a job with a felony conviction on her record? It's so much worse than that. She owes like $43,000 in credit card debt. She's getting evicted again, and her parents completely disowned her after the arrest made the local news. Sounds like natural consequences for her actions. Sam, please. She's talking about hurting herself. She's really desperate, and I'm worried. Now look, I'm not a monster. If Ashley was genuinely having thoughts of self-harm, that would be serious. But knowing her manipulation tactics, this was probably just another attempt to get sympathy. Emma, if you're genuinely worried about her safety, call 911 or get her professional help. That's not my responsibility. There's something else. She wants to apologize to you. In person. She says she finally understands how badly she messed up, how good she had it with you. An idea started forming in my head. A beautiful, absolutely perfect idea. Tell Ashley I'll meet with her. One time only. This Saturday at 2 p.m. at the coffee shop on 5th Street. And Emma? If she tries any manipulation or drama, I'm walking out immediately. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. This means everything. Saturday afternoon, I showed up early and grabbed a corner table where I could observe everything. Carlos insisted on coming as backup, sitting a few tables away pretending to work on his laptop while keeping an eye on things. Ashley walked in looking absolutely destroyed. The designer clothes were completely gone, replaced by cheap jeans and a wrinkled t-shirt that had seen better days. She'd lost significant weight, her hair looked like she hadn't been to a salon in months, and she had dark circles under her eyes like she hadn't slept properly in weeks. She sat down across from me without making any eye contact. Thank you for agreeing to see me. You've got exactly 10 minutes. I know you hate me. I hate myself too. I ruined everything good in my life because I was greedy and stupid and manipulative. Keep going. I know saying sorry doesn't mean anything at this point, but I am. I'm so incredibly sorry for the ultimatum, for trying to steal from you, for everything. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I threw it all away because I'm an idiot. She started crying real tears. Not the fake manipulative ones she used to use, but genuine broken person tears. I can't get a job anywhere. Nobody will hire me with a felony record. I'm living in my car half the time. I haven't eaten a real meal in 4 days. This was it. This was the moment I'd been waiting for without even knowing it. Ashley, you want to know the absolute truth? You could have had everything. A beautiful life, financial security, a man who would have given you the world. All you had to do was sign one simple piece of paper that protected what I built before you came along. Instead, you chose to be greedy and manipulative. I know, and I'm so incredibly stupid. Sam, I don't know what to do anymore. I have absolutely nothing left. What exactly are you asking me for here? I don't even know anymore. Help? A loan? A job reference? Anything. I'm completely desperate and I have nowhere else to turn. And there it was. The woman who'd given me an ultimatum, who'd tried to steal from me, who'd called me selfish and heartless, who'd planned to falsely claim abuse to get money from me, was now sitting across from me, begging for help. I leaned back in my chair and looked at her for a long moment. She looked so small, so completely broken. Part of me genuinely felt bad for her. But then I remembered her laughing at the prenup. I remembered her planning to claim emotional abuse to steal my assets. I remembered her telling her sister I was too stupid to realize she didn't love me. Ashley, do you remember what you told me when I asked you to sign the prenup? Yes. What exactly did you say? I said marry me as I am, or not at all. That's absolutely right. And what did I choose? Her voice was barely above a whisper. Not at all. So here's my answer to your request for help. Not at all. The look of complete devastation on her face was something I'll remember forever. But Sam, I have nothing. I am nothing. I'll never recover from this. You're probably right about that. But that's exactly what happens when you bite the hand that feeds you and try to steal from someone who genuinely cared about you. I stood up to leave. Ashley, I want you to remember something important. Every time you're hungry, every time you can't pay rent, every time someone turns you down for a job because of your criminal record, remember that you chose this path. You had a man who would have given you the world, and you chose to try and steal it instead. Sam, please, I'm begging you. You made your choice. Now live with the consequences. I walked out, leaving her crying at that table. Carlos followed me out a few minutes later. Dude, that was brutal. She earned every second of it. Think she'll try anything crazy? Nah, Ashley's a coward at heart. She'll probably find some other guy to manipulate eventually, but it definitely won't be me. 2 years later, I married Sarah in a beautiful ceremony. She signed the prenup without hesitation because she understood what it actually meant, that I was protecting both of us by being smart about financial assets and planning for the future like responsible adults. Ashley, last I heard from mutual acquaintances, she's working part-time at a call center and living with 3 roommates in a terrible part of town. Her Instagram is completely gone, her influencer dreams are dead forever, and her felony conviction ensures she'll never have the luxury lifestyle she thought she deserved simply for being attractive. Sometimes I see her sister Emma around town at various places. She won't make eye contact with me anymore. Good. They both learned what happens when you mess with someone who built everything from absolutely nothing. The moral of the story? When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. And when they give you an ultimatum, don't be afraid to call their bluff. Ashley thought she could manipulate me into giving her access to my life's work and assets. Instead, she lost everything and gave me the most satisfying revenge I could have asked for, watching her beg for help that would never, ever come. Best, not at all, I ever said in my entire life. Edit. For everyone asking, yes, Sarah and I are extremely happy. She actually makes more money than me now, and we're building something amazing together. Also, Carlos is my best man, and still gives me grief about that Ashley situation, but admits he's proud of how I handled it. Edit 2. To everyone saying I should have helped her, absolutely not. Actions have consequences. She tried to steal from me and planned to falsely accuse me of abuse. Some bridges, once burned, can never be rebuilt.